Hi, my name is Glenn Murray and I am the Programs Manager for ArtsCan Circle.
Hi there, my name's Amanda Hurst and I'm the Operations Manager with ArtsCan Circle. So we're always on the hunt for Indigenous artists. We're scouring the internet, looking through Instagram. If you are an Indigenous artist, whether it be a singer, songwriter, a musician, dancer, drama, a facilitator in any media, please get in contact with me. We're always looking for different artists around Canada. The kids really respond when an Indigenous artist is traveling on our workshops. There's just so much local and innate culture within an Indigenous person that you can impart on the kids, and they really listen and lighten up when we've got Indigenous representation on the trip. So please get in contact with me. All of my contact details are on the website, so we'd really love to hear from you and to continue diversifying what we do up in the north.
Hi everybody, and welcome to Olivia Connects. Thank you so much for tuning in with me every week, and if you guys are new, I would appreciate you guys subscribing. I want to start off by asking how you guys got involved with ArtsCan Circle, what it's all about for those who have no idea, and your journeys with the program and the charity.
So it's kind of interesting because I had actually met with Carol Teal, who was working with ArtsCan years ago, to consider going on a trip as an artist. And then when I heard about this position being open, I was incredibly excited to apply for it because they bring instruments to the far north and we do workshops with Indigenous youth in fly-in communities.
And what about you, Amanda?
I sit behind the scenes and make sure everybody's okay when they're doing the trips. So.
Genius organizer.
So you organize and facilitate everybody's safe journeys.
Yeah, so my role is pretty all-encompassing, you'd say. I'm, as operations, you just handling everything with the business, whether it be from websites, socials, to organising our trips, budgets, funding. Funding something that we're constantly looking for and something that we need to be forecasting for upcoming years, and then just providing support to the programming. And at the moment, we do have 3 big trips coming up. So the amount of admin that goes with that and the training of our artists and making sure our agreements and everything are in place is pretty paperwork heavy on my end, but the artists are very much just doing their thing up there. So I do all the stuff so that it can be seamless up there.
Have you guys ever been out on a program and actually none of the Indigenous youth or some of them didn't want to participate in a workshop, and how did you guys go about handling that? Does that happen?
Well, it's not just the workshops, it's school in general. Attendance is a challenge. So in any socially, economically challenged community, you're gonna have those kind of issues of getting kids to attend. But then when you're working in an Indigenous community, particularly a fly-in community, you have residual effects of residential schooling, which has left the parents in a sort of a cultural void, and they also have not had parenting skills because they've not received that love being taken away to residential schools. So now you're dealing with this current generation who are bearing the brunt of that trauma. So where here, if our kids stayed away from school, obviously it's something that's culturally abhorrent, where up there it's not the same, where the kids stay home and the parents may not have the strength or the capacity to enforce that and get them to go. The other aspect of it is that the educational prospects are much more limited up there. Some of the reserves don't have a high school, or if they do, the high school curriculum is not the same level that we have here. You also have 50% of the funding that the students receive here. So there's enormous challenges, and the incentive and desire to attend school is not always there. The advantage that we have is that we come in with a program that's exciting. What Amanda and I have been trying to do is diversify our team. So we're bringing in dance now, visual arts, multimedia, photography.
Sculpture.
Each team has a demographic that's diverse.
And these workshops are 1 week, or?
Yeah, 5 days usually.
And you try to come back on a seasonal or yearly basis to the same communities. And each year, are you guys expanding communities? How does that?
So it kind of goes in ebbs and flows. Sometimes Mike is invited back to a community by the chiefs. And then so when we have that invitation, it's we look to funding to go to whether it be a new community or a returning community. The ones that we have funding for is we've got that promise that we will go back.
Okay.
And that's, to answer the question, we go back twice a year.
Okay, and this is all within Canada?
Yes.
Do you guys maybe one day hope to expand?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
ideally we'd be in every community if we could. They all need it. But yeah, definitely.
And it's good you guys keep coming back, because I read recently that children, especially up to the age of 6, have a fear of abandonment. So when you have that consistency, that I guess prepares them for youth and adulthood. So kudos to you guys.
That's our biggest thing, is that promise. And Mike made that promise 15 or so years ago that he will go back until we're not needed anymore.
So when we work in the North, the Indigenous youth are a lot more shy than you would find in school systems down here. So we created this system called imagination stations to quickly generate ideas with kids who are shy and not forthcoming. We would start with prompts. My dreams are self-esteem. So Amanda's gonna be the student and I'm gonna be the teacher or workshop facilitator encouraging her ideas. What kind of things make you feel good about yourself? So can you think of one that makes you feel good about yourself?
Yeah, I like to write. Yeah.
So you can write that and I'm gonna give you a bigger
I write
piece.
that?
Yeah. So the Post-it note will evolve into the game called Slam It Down. So we would put these all around the room and they're literally walking and talking and putting up the Post-it notes. By the time you're done, it's full of color and you have all these ideas, and we put all the sheets down, and then in the middle of the room we'd have this big table, and then we play Slam It Down, and it's so cute because they're shy. This will be their Slam It Down. Be like, and then their head will go down. And then you might get that kid who's just overly exuberant. He's like, yeah, whoa. So it's interesting.
I want to briefly talk about, well, I guess we're already talking about the voice of the Indigenous people. Do you think that they have a strong enough voice in Canada?
Oh no.
And how
long do we have?
And what would you guys suggest?
Education. Everyone needs to educate themselves, and you can start with the Truth and Reconciliation Report. It's only 465 pages long, and you can download it. Schools need to teach it. We need to learn our true, accurate history of Indigenous peoples in Canada.
Tell me a little bit about your childhoods and why you guys have decided to be ambassadors for the youth. Is it because something happened in your childhood, or you guys just kind of crossed paths with ArtsCan and decided, you know what, I can make a difference, I'm going to be involved in this charity? What's your story?
I'll go. I come from a very, not privileged, I won't say privileged, we struggled very much, but I had a lot more access and the opportunities to just try things.
Cool. And you, Glenn?
Well, I mean, my childhood, I wasn't privileged by any means, but I never wanted for anything. My parents came from South Africa on a boat with a suitcase, right? And they're kind of my heroes for that. But I think a moment that was life-changing for me for music was my grade 8 teacher, Don Mitnoff. And let me get emotional.
Yeah, it's okay.
He taught me so much about loving music, and I credit him for that. And it's continued, and this job is an evolution of a love for music, which I'm lucky enough to do for a living.
And before I let you guys go, if there was another job you guys could be doing or something you wanted to do when you were younger, what would it be and why?
Oh, I know.
Okay, go.
Rock star.
Yeah.
No, I would be doing music on a bigger level, I think.
And I actually heard about ArtsCan Circle from Julian Taylor, who's part of the Julian Taylor band. So it's another musician that's advocating for you guys. So when I interviewed him, I had to look you guys up, and I'm like, okay, I need to talk to them, and here we are. So
Yeah, that's cool.
It's all, we're all connected.
He's a good singer.
Yeah.
This is like,
I know, I had goosebumps. But anyways, Amanda, what about you?
Yeah, still behind the scenes, but running a music festival, a major music festival.
so you should take my career and then,
Yeah.
blow it up, and then you can do your
exactly,
festival.
and then you can do a national tour of Canada. There we go.
Like we didn't think of this before.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys. Thank you everybody for watching. Again, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Tune in every week for new videos, and we will see you guys soon. Take care.